What's up guys, welcome back to another tutorial. For this video, I'm going to be breaking down how I draw and paint noses. Not too long ago, I did a tutorial how to draw and paint eyes. If you haven't seen that already, be sure to check the link below, or you can just click it somewhere on the screen. But without further ado, let's get started. So first off, what I want to do is break down the nose into simple shapes. Step 1, draw a triangle. Then inside that, draw 3 circles with the biggest one being in the middle, and the 2 smaller circles on the outside are where the nostrils go. Next, draw 2 lines at the bottom to make another triangle. And now you should have something like this. But when you look at this, it looks too flat, and you always want to make sure you're thinking of shapes in 3D form. So draw this dotted line to help understand the construction and the bridge of the nose. And then basically it's the same methods for any perspective. So side view, we're going to draw the triangle. And this time only 2 circles because the other nostril would be on the other side. And then connect at the bottom. Next, for a lower perspective of the nose, draw the triangle and the 3 circles. Only this time you're going to extend at the top for the bridge of the nose. Or even if the perspective was really low, you wouldn't even see the bridge. Okay, now that we broke it down easily, I'm going to start drawing out the noses that we're going to paint. And from here on out, you're going to notice that it's going to be going a bit faster. So if you'd like to slow down the video, you can go to the settings at the bottom right and adjust the playback speed. As you can see, I'm drawing the basic shapes and then drawing my lines on top for the nose. And with this, I want to draw clean lines because then it'll make it easier for me when it comes to cleaning up. And then if you properly use these shapes as guidelines, you can easily draw in the nostrils and the bridge of the nose. And then because this last one is a lower perspective, the nostrils are going to look a lot bigger. Now that that's done, I'm going to lower the opacity for my sketch. Then under the sketch layer, I'm going to fill in a color for my skin tone. I want each nose to look different, so for the first one, I'm going to choose warmer colors. Next, start building your midtones using a lighter color. And then blending is totally up to you, but for my painting I like to use my smudge brushes, and if you'd like to use my Procreate brushes, you can click the link in the description for the download. Then we can even go lighter for our highlights, and mind you, all these layers are still under the sketch layer. I also like to play with layer modes to brighten or darken areas a bit, so that's what I'm doing when you see the glow around the nostrils and stuff. Now that we're almost done, I like to go over my sketch layer and add final details, so just cleaning up the highlights and the hard edges for the nostrils. And then we're done. Second one is a side view. So first our base color, then on another layer the midtones, and even just identifying the shadow under the nose. For this one I want to go with blue for the light source to create a strong contrast between the pink skin. And for the nostrils, I just choose a darker red or brown to fill them in. I never really use black, only when I feel like I absolutely need to. But I just feel like it makes the painting look dull and muddy when pitch black is involved. Other than backgrounds, of course, in those scenarios, I'll use the darkest black. And then bringing out the highlights more. Then lastly again, drawing over my lines to clean up. And then that's it for nose number 2. Now nose number 3, I want warm colors again, so starting with the base, we're gonna go with this color. Next, I'm gonna go with some red tones. When drawing skin, you always wanna have some saturation to show the blood that's under the human flesh. I've touched on this in other videos, but you'll often notice this in lighter areas in the skin, like the nose and the cheeks. And you just add this saturation to it if you wanna bring life to your subject. And for the shadow under the nose, you can see I'm not going too dark because although the light source isn't directly hitting that area, it will still reduce the shadows. This is called ambient light. So that's why you see I'm adding subtle touches of olive green in there. Something I think really helps with painting is mixing the use of hard and soft edges. For my mid-tone areas, that's where everything is more so soft and blended out. Then where my darkest and lighter areas are, I create harder edges. Then we're gonna add highlights. And same thing, just cleaning up over the lines. And then we're done. The fourth and final nose is drawn from a lower perspective where you see more of the nostrils and less of the nose bridge. For this one, I want to go with a light purple for the base. When building up the midtones, my colors are more saturated and dull. I'm doing this on purpose to show you guys what I meant by saying saturated tones bring life to your subject, and desaturated tones make it look a little more dead. And probably a nose that would belong to an extremely pale character, like some sort of zombie, monster, or vampire. And then even though lifeless is the goal here, I'm not using pitch black for the nostrils, just dark purple. Now I did end up using a bit of pinkish purple to add saturation, but these are all personal preferences. Then to finish off, just adding highlights and cleanup. And then also when painting inside the nostrils, at the outer edges, sometimes you'll see a little bit of the light shining through, so that's where you see that pinkish tone. Then that's it for the last nose. And now that we're done all of them, just for the sake of these being studies, I like to create a layer below everything and make this outer layer to the drawing so it makes it look like they're cutouts or molds of some sort. Then just final touches, playing with layer modes to make my colors pop. And that's it for this tutorial. Like I said before, if you want to download the brushes I used, you can click the link in the description and let me know what you guys like to see me demonstrate next. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you click the like and subscribe button and go check out my previous tutorials. Peace out, guys.